Running backs versus wide receivers. Let's talk about it right now on Fantasy Football Today in 5. Adam Azer, Dave Richard here. Love doing these shows with Dave. He gets so into it. Dave, we just did a whole show about an hour long, running back versus wide receiver. So we'll do some different ones here. Before we do that, though, give me your reaction to the Sony Michel trade and Darrell Henderson versus Damien Harris. Now, where do you stand?
In non-PPR, I'll take Harris over Henderson. And it's not to say that I'm super excited about Damien Harris now, but I think he's going to have a good opportunity to be the lead back for the Patriots without much static from Ramondre Stevenson, J.J. Taylor, and passing downs back James White. Henderson, look, this is another clear shot that the coaching staff just does not like him, that they want to bring in Sony Michel. They gave up a 4th-round pick for Sony Michel, and Michel's going to be there to take some work away from him. I would imagine they're going to mix and match each week. It's going to be a headache. If it's going to be a headache between two guys, why would I take Henderson in round 5? I'm starting to think, why would I take Henderson in round 6 when I can get Sony Michel in round 9, 10, 11? If I'm going to take a chance on a Rams running back, that's the one I want to take a chance on.
At the value.
Yeah.
You have Henderson ranked ahead of Michel, but right. Okay, so then we're going into running back versus wide receiver here. Davonte Adams or Aaron Jones?
I'm going to take Jones. And you know me, I love taking running backs early. And I know that Davonte Adams had a mega year last year, a mega year 2 seasons before last year, and he could do it again. But we've also seen Aaron Jones finish as a top 5 fantasy running back each of the past 2 seasons. I think he's got a little bit more upside, and I'm filling that running back position early on draft day.
Saquon Barkley or Davonte Adams?
That one's closer. And because I think that Saquon Barkley is ready to go, and I know he missed practice on Wednesday for personal reasons. It sounds like they're going to get him into the joint practice against the Patriots. Yeah, I'm thinking that I'm going to take the chance on the running back who's got sky-high upside over Adams. Adams has sky-high upside too, but we also know that it's going to be hard for him to match what he did last year. That's going to be tough for him and for Aaron Rodgers to do.
David Montgomery or his teammate Allen Robinson?
That's a good one. And I go back and forth, and I think it really comes down to whether or not you need a running back or a wide receiver when you're in the round 2-3 turn. Chances are you're probably going to need both. I would lean toward the running back over the wide receiver in that case.
Yeah, for me, they're so even that I feel like your first 2 picks might dictate what you do when you look at these Bears guys. Chris Carson or CeeDee Lamb?
I'm going to go Lamb, especially in PPR. I just think that he's going to continue to see an uptick in targets and evolve into that number 1 wide receiver for the Dallas Cowboys. Carson's going to be good too, but I bet he's going to end up being what he's always been for Seattle, which is a guy who's consistent about 50% of the time. So half the time he's going to get you the fantasy points you want, and half the time he's going to disappoint you. I think Lamb will be a little more consistent.
How about DeAndre Swift versus Robert Woods?
You know how I feel about Swift, and you know how I feel about Robert Woods. I'll take Woods. I think he's got the chance to have a breakout year in LA. Adding Sony Michel doesn't change the way I feel about this passing game one bit, and I bet it doesn't change the way Sean McVay feels about it either. Swift hasn't been practicing. The coaches are concerned about his conditioning. The coaches are concerned about his ability to get right back into the thick of things. I bet they ease him in to begin the season, and there's no guarantee he's going to make it all year long. The only upside he's got is through receptions. And I still believe this. I still believe he's got 70 catch potential, but I just don't know if he's going to get a ton of touchdowns and really the yards that come along with a guy that's going to catch 70 passes.
Okay, so DeAndre Swift or Mike Evans?
I'm going to take Swift over Evans there, but those are 2 guys that I'm kind of trying to avoid. I've got them ranked past their ADP because I'm a little bit nervous about them both doing what the general public thinks that they're going to do. I think that Evans can take a step back this year. He's going to be touchdown dependent, and Swift is obviously health dependent. Both of them are health dependent. Everybody is, but PPR dependent as well. But Swift, the running back, I would lean toward him.
All right, then we're going to do one more, another set of teammates. Mike Davis or Kyle Pitts?
I've got them back-to-back in my PPR rankings, and I've got Pitts 1 spot ahead of Davis. I liked what I saw from both of them in Falcons practice against the Dolphins when they were visiting Miami last week, but I think Pitts might get a little more work in the passing game in terms of end zone. Well, I'm saying what everybody knows. He's going to catch more touchdowns than Mike Davis will. I'm not sure how many catches in general Mike Davis will get. I think he'll get a decent amount, and I'm not sure how effective he'll be. I think there's just way more upside with Pitts.
That is Dave Richard talking running backs versus wide receivers. And
it's good when pass catchers catch the football, Adam. That's my advice for today.
Particularly when they do it in the end zone. That's what I have learned today. That's it for Fantasy Football Today in 5. We'll talk to you.